let's start, sir.
Okay,
So
sir.
last class we talked. In our last class, we talk about in our last class we talk about data in data functions and this in Excel. Then we use some functions in Excel like sum if, sum, VLOOKUP, and other some functions in Excel. So today we want to talk about simple visualization and summarizing of data using pivot table. So let's go back to our previous data we have been using. I will share my screen now. Just wait. I'm open my Excel. So I want to open the file. I'm looking for the file on my system. That's why. I will share my screen now. So hope we go through what we did last class.
Yes, sir.
But that's good, sir. Mhm. So well, are you seeing my screen now?
Does not start. Oh yeah, it's
Hello, are you
showing
seeing
now.
my screen now?
Does not start. Oh yeah, it's showing now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to do data summary using pivot table and data visualization before we move to Python. I sent a link to the group for us to access some Pythons and to download our Jupyter notes. So this data is consist of name. So the first thing we have is description. Describe. So they describe the columns for us. We have column name, name, and the column name is name. We have a column name department. We have a column name region. We have a column name branches, and we have a column name hired date. We have a column name sales. Then we have the description of the each column. So this column name is name of the employee, the department of the employee, political zone of the branches, the state. So this is the description of the each column. So let's come back to the data. Then we have the assessments here again. So the assessment is that you format the header of your data set to your suitable taste. Now let's start with that. So we come to header set now. The header is name, department, region, branch, higher date and sales. So this is the header of this. So let's try to format it. Now to format this one now, we come back to this name, Control Shift arrow left. So to highlight, and then we now come back to this Calibri. You should change our format to change our font name. So let me change this. Let me change it to this. Then let me increase the font size. I change it to 12. Then I can bold it. Then I can change the background color, maybe to black or blue. Then I change the color again, maybe to white. So at least we have format this one now. So we don't have any problem with formatting of the name again, formatting of the header. So Then again, in assessment, we have using pivot table to count the unique elements in the region. So this is the uses of pivot table. Now, to do pivot table, now you know the uses of pivot table is that we can use pivot table to summarize the data. So now let's use the pivot table to count the number of the region. So you just click any place in your data, then you come to insert. Then after you come to your insert, you now see pivot table. You pick pivot table. So we now give you option. Do you want to use the new seat? If you take new seat, it will automatically open to new seat. If you pick existing seat, now it will have for location. Maybe you press any location you want. Then if you press OK. So OK now. This is our pivot table. So from the question, what you want to do from the question, using pivot table to count the number of unique elements in the column. So this region, just if you take the region, take it to the row. All this. I'm sorry. So take the region, pick it to the row. So now this is our region. We have picked it to row. So we can see that we have east, west, south, east, north, south, west. This is the region present in this data. So by unique now, we have how many region? 1, 2, 3, 4. That is what? That is 4 region. So this is what we are asked to do using pivot table. Now again, we can know the number of what? Number of names in each region. So if you mark on what on name now, so if you take the name to what? To column, you see how it goes. If you pick it back to region, you see how it goes. So it shows that in East we have Israel, Joshua, Joy, Michael, and Miracle, Pause, and Romeo. So in North we have Awesome, something like that. Then in South we have something like that again. So in West we have something like that again. So this is how we use region. So let's take it back. Now, if you want to know how much each is the total of labor sales in each region, so you pick your sales, then you take it back to value. So this value, the sum, each day we use value to count the to take any data, any column to value. The data must be an integer, so that to sum them or to count them or something like that. So we pick it down to what? Value. But going with this question, asking us that using pivot table to count the number of unique elements in what? In region column. So what you need to do is that let's take this one back. Now pick region again, pick it back to pick region again, pick it back to value. So you can see now the number of east in this data set is what? Is 8. Number of north is 8. Number of south is also 8. Number of uh west is also 8. So this is how we answer the question from this. Now if you don't need region again, maybe you need name or department. So you just drag again, come back here, then you see that the now counting of department is also the same thing. So name also, so you know each how many times each name was repeated. So name also is usually repeat that sometimes some that time. So if you let's just return it. Now this is what the question asks us to do using pivot table now. So if you want to know the how many times they repeat region east in this data set is 8 times. So you just come back to this data and be counting it. If you don't trust if you don't trust the process. But in the easier way, you can do it like this to have your total value. Now, let me take it back and let me bring back this. So I want to discuss about something here. Now we have sum of sales. Maybe you want to find the average sum of sales in each region. You can come back here. So value, yeah, you pick the value, then you come back here. If you want to count, if you want to take the average, if you need the maximum, so maybe you need the average in each region. So the average number in each, the average sales amount in what? In sales amount in east is 10,250. In north is 10,312. So this is how we do average. Again, if you need the maximum amount from each state, so you can go back to value bid setting. So you pick the what? You pick the maximum. If you need the product, if you need the minimum, so you pick it. So this is the value. In east, the highest amount is 13,500. In north, the highest amount is 16,000. In south, the highest amount is 13,500. In west, the highest amount is 14,000. So this is how we do about the region. So another thing is that if you create your pivot table, so we remove what? We remove the ground total. You see now, from 13,500 to 14,000, the highest amount, the maximum amount is what? Is 16,000. So you can come back to data. You come to design, then you come back to grand total, then you have the total from row and column. So we have all this, so we don't have any problem like that. So now you want to visualize it data now using visualization. You can come back to insights. So you click, you need to make sure your cursor is on that pivot table. Then you come back to the recommended chart. So you can see the recommendation chart is that's allowed that we have. So we have cluster column, we have column chart, we have column chart, then we have pivot chart, we have bar chart, then we have area chart. This is there. We have line chart, pie chart, bar chart, area chart, scatter chart. We have map chart, stock chart, surface chart, and all others. So for this data now, the recommended chart for it is column chart. So you can come here, you can see now that not as highest maximum total of what of sales. So this is how we do a chart in Microsoft Excel or Microsoft Spreadsheet or Spreadsheet rather. So this is how we do. So you can come, if you don't like this sign, you can come and format it again. So to format this one now, you just come back to format here. You format your text. You can format. So I don't have any problem with it. If you format again, you can come to this. Then the axis. If you don't need the axis, you can let the axis go. If you need the axis title, so maybe the maximum sales, then in this x-axis you write the region. So the data label that is show each value on top of it. Data table is like table of value we use in our graph to show. The error bar, if you are good in statistics, you know the meaning of error bar. Then the trending value again. So this is the how you format a particular this. So this is how we do what? This is how we do simple visualization. Now again, let's see another question. Add another column between higher date and what? And sales name. And sales. Name it quantity. So again, you can come back to from the question. We have add in another column between higher date and sales. So to add in another column now between higher date and sales now, you come back to what? You come back to your column F where you see, then you right click. So after you right click, you see insert. So you see insert, you see that the sales as what have moved apart. So there we should name it what? We should name this one what do you call it? Quality or quantity. So this is what I asked us to do. Now add in another column after sales. and name it amount. So after 6 now, that we say adding our what? Amount. So this is amount. So again, what again the question says, then then calculate the amount by on your own assumption using formula. So before amount quantity now, you need to know amount of a things, you need to know the quantity of that thing. Maybe, but let's just took a random number. So by the quantity, this is what the question is. This one is not the date. Let's you can see the way I'm writing. When I write 7, it changed to date, right? Do because the daily in column F, there is higher date before, so you can change it by just highlight all this, then you come back to your gen number here. So you go back, you go with it, then maybe 2. So according to this is what the question asks us to do. A random number. A random number. You just need to a random number. This is incomplete data. As soon as a complete data, they will give us the data from what? From the this quantity from. So actually it's not more. That's what they give us. Actually the data is not more. That's why they give us a random number to be choosing a random number. Now maybe 7, 10, 2, 4, 5, 6, 2, 1, 3, 9. So now to calculate amount now, we can see that what is the formula for amount? Amount is this multiplied by this one. Quantity multiplied by the source. So this one is equal to this multiplied by this what we did in our last class. This then equal sign. So we can see that this one is 22,000. Then we just click on it. So after that we have done with that, again we have used the formula, create a bar chart so the relation between name, hours, and amount. So to create a bar chart now, we first need to create. You can create your charts without creating pivot table. But pivot table now make it simple for us to create our chart. So firstly create our pivot table. You come to insert, then we create our pivot table. So from the question is what is create a bar chart to show the relation between name, hour, and amount. So let me just click anywhere here. So then we try if we come to pivot table existing, then I want to create name and amount. So we need to bring name back to row and give to amount to be what to be in values. So after that, I also want to ask you that anything we need to have our grand total. We come to this place and have our grand total all from rows and column. Then after that, we now take our bar chart. But the question that we to create a bar chart from the table. So you can use our bar chart. From the bar chart now, simply we can see that Miracle has the what has a highest total amount from the table. So again, you can see that Michael has the lower. So this is the use of visualization. This is the use of visualization. You can see that the highest chart, the one with the highest one is what is Miracle, and the lower one is what is Michael. So this is uh uses of chart in Microsoft Excel. Now, again, the question again asks us to do create a bar chart to say the relationship between. We have done that. Create a column chart between the branches and the amount. So branches and the amount. Let me go back to my data. So I've told us that anything we create our pivot table. We come to insert the pivot table. Then let's take a new sheet now. So a new sheet. So it will automatically take a new sheet. Is between branches and amounts. So branches we drag the branches to row, then amounts to value. So I want to create a column chart. So let's firstly of our grand total. So we have of our grand total, then we come back to inside, then we create a column. This is our column chart. The bar chart is here. So we can see the difference between bar chart and column chart, though they are used for the same thing. So these are our bar chart. If you see now, the Lagos Kano has the highest amount, followed by Lagos, followed by Imo and Rivers. So this bar chart. Again, so again, the next one we have create a line chart between the higher date and the sales date. So the use of higher date is higher date. Anytime we are using line charts, we are talking about the period or the time we use our line chart. So that's why we have to use higher dates and sales to create our line chart. So the first thing we need to do is we create a pivot table, insert pivot table, then let's use sheet 1. So what is happening? Okay. We come back to pivot table, new sheet, let's use new sheet again. So higher dates. So then sales to value. So let's talk about something in this higher date. So this higher date we have, dates is consist of what? Year, months, and what? And days. So this is the date. So we have something called quarter. We have quarters. So if you like, you can off it from the feed, or you leave it. So now let me just leave it so that we see how our line chart goes. Then we have the what grand total from the column and list. So now come back to our chart. Column chart, we go with what? We go with line chart. According to the question, go with line chart. So they have highest sales is what? Is 2019. So you can see. So this is line chart. So the next question has to do what? Which name has the highest sales getting your organization? So highest that is to create name and what and sales. You need to create a visualization between name and what and sales. So going with our file for table. So yeah, let's use new sheet. So name to rows, sales to this one now. Then we have the grand total. So let's use we now use bar chart. So we come to insert and chart. So you can see now which of them has the highest sales. You can see that if you come to Miracle has 29,000. If you come to This one, how is one? We have a great alpha function. So by visualizing that, you can see that miracle has the highest sales, but that is sum of sales. That is how much they are sales. So miracle has the highest sales. So you can, if you like, you can find the average amount, or average or the maximum. So who have the maximum amount among them? So the maximum among them is what? Is glory. So that's how it goes. But from the question now, the sum of six is the question. So by sum of six, you can see that is what is miracle. Now that's how we do that one. The next assessment is, the next one is, which date has the highest sales. So by going to our date, we can see that is what is 2019. This year is what is 2019. So if you come to 2019 now, you see. So Kotama is 2019 has the what? Has the highest sales. So again, create a column versus line chart using your own insert. So let's come here and let's just pick that to create a line versus if you want to create a line, a combo chart now, that is column and line chart, we call it combo line. So combo chart. So create a combo chart, we come to visualization, then pivot table, let's use new seat. So maybe I take my region to rows, branch to row, not branch, branch, so branch to column. So maybe this one to this one now, or let's just do it like this. So then we have the what? We have the grand total from row and column. So now we now create our visualization. You come here, then this. I'm sorry. Then amount to what? Amount to this now. So you can see that we have what? We have two things here. So this is a combo chart. When we have both, when we are relating two things together with two things. So you can see that sum of six is representing with what? Is representing with blue, and sum of amount is representing with what? Is representing with orange. So this is how we go with this now. So I think this is our last question. Yeah. So if you have any question, you can drop this from the group and I'll answer you later. So I want to go to a 5-minute break. I'll come back in the next 5 minutes.